Have you ever wondered why there are people out there who has probably worked 10, 20, 30 years in the same job or different jobs across different sectors or different jobs, but they still haven't stopped chasing money? The reason is because they don't know their freedom number. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can find your freedom number so that you stop chasing money and money starts chasing you instead. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I talk about what is that number that sets you free. In today's video, we're going to talk about your freedom number. Now, a lot of the times, we are a wandering generality instead of being a meaningful specifics. What I mean by this is life controls us as opposed to us controlling our life. Now, if you knew your freedom number, please put it down in the comment section below. As I said before, a lot of people, including myself, didn't know what my freedom number was a few years ago. Now, I'm going to use an example here to help you find what is your freedom number and, most importantly, to understand what is the logic behind it and how you can find that freedom number for yourself. We're going to use my case, for instance. So what is my freedom number? How do you get that freedom number? Very important thing here. This number is essentially that number that we are all chasing, but we don't know the end to it. For instance, if you have a 9-to-5 job here today and you've been doing that 9-to-5 for, let's say, 10 years, and let's say that 9-to-5 is giving you about $100,000 per year salary. So over 10 years, you should have roughly, if you and your wife was doing that, $1 million for yourself, and the other million that your wife made or your partner made was used for expenditure and stuff like that. So by the end of the 10th year, you work for 10 years, let's say 10 years, you should have about $1 million left. Now, a lot of people, what they do is, if they lose their job, for instance, what they do is they start freaking out. They don't realize that they have that $1 million here. Why is it the case that although you had $1 million or even more in terms of net worth, you still are chasing that money? Why do you chase money? The simple reason is because you don't know what is your freedom number. If you knew your freedom number, that second you're gonna hit that freedom number or even close, or if you created a system that will get you to that freedom number, you'll stop chasing money, and the opposite happens. Money starts chasing you. Alright? So the opposite happens, money starts chasing you once you figure out a system that will get you to that freedom number. Now, today's video is not about showing you what that system is, but it's more about showing you how you get to that freedom number. Alright. How do you get to your freedom number? We're going to use a very simple example here, and this is an example that applies to people who live in Australia or the US. So I can speak for Australia, for instance. So in Australia, if we take a monthly expense, assuming you have a family and a house, so we're talking roughly, let's say, $5,000 per month. Now what happens here is, if this is your $5,000 per month, you also need to account in this what I call the entertainment money. What's the point of living if you don't have fun? So we're gonna say that if you spend about $5,000, we're gonna say that the entertainment money is about the same. So $5,000 per month. So essentially what you've done is you've just added $10,000 per month to actually start to feel free. This is a number that is per month. Most of us live about 82 years old. So if you are in your 30s today, let's say roughly you have 50 years to go. You have about 50 years to go. So if you need about $10,000 per month to actually pay your expenses and live freely, so let's say $10,000 per month sets you free. Now, how do you get your freedom number? Again, before I said 50 years to live. If you are in your 30s, let's say this is example for a 30-year-old person. So if you're a 30-year-old person, you have about 50 years to get to that 82 years of age, when this is what life expectancy is mostly in today's world. So you have about 50 years to go. Now, 50 years means, let's say, we're gonna take roughly 10 months per year. So that's roughly about 500 months. If you take 500 months and you need to have about $10,000 per month to be free, the math is simple. So you do 1 month, 10K, 500 month, 10K times 500. that gives you about $5 million that you need to be truly free. So that gives you about $5 million to be truly free. Now, this number might look huge, but this is the number that is your freedom number. If you start having this number in your life that you look towards to, I can guarantee you that eventually you'll form systems that will get you to that number very fast, or at least put you in an automatic money-making machine that you can start having this 10k at least per month, where you don't have to worry getting that $5 million, but eventually getting that 10k automatically will start setting you free to eventually get to your $5 million freedom number. Now, this is an example where your expenditure is $5,000, and as I said, you just use the same for your entertainment money and you add them up together, you get that $10,000. This was expenses, 5k, and entertainment was another 5k. So when you add this up, you get that $10,000. Now, if you think your expenses and your entertainment is higher, all you have to do is add them up to when you have a family, when you have a house, for instance, how much that expenses would be and how much your entertainment would be. So roughly it's about the same. So once you get your monthly number, just times it by the number of years it'll take you to get to your 82 years old. So 82 years old we use here as an example, because that's what the life expectancy age is in today's world. So once you get that numbers, in our case it was 50 years old, 50 years to go before you get to that 80 years. So then you do 50 years times 10 months, which is what you get in a year. So then you do 50 times 10, so you get that in month, and then 500 month it is. So then you use 500 times $10,000 per month, which is what your set for number was, and that gives you your freedom number, which is in our case here $5 million. So as I said before, in this video I'm just going to talk about how you get your freedom number. In a future video I might talk about how you can set system in place so you start making that 10k automatically or passively, and eventually you start getting to that $5 million as you start seeing that 10k becomes more and more passive. If you love such video, please don't forget to like, share with your friends and families, and subscribe, because I'll help you make more money. And don't forget to go and watch my last video on how each dollar in your pocket is not necessarily making you more money, and what you need to do to make them work harder to make more money for you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not